Infiniti Q60 Coupe. Appearances can be deceiving, as they say. One may be dressed to the nines with everything that Cristiano Ronaldo has, but could be a total disaster on the pitch. Another may have the same basketball shoes as LeBron James, but can't dribble to save his life. This can be applied to cars as well, as some may look like menacing track day monsters, but end up disappointing in the area of performance. It's all a matter of perception, and in the world where looking at something results in instant judgment, can good looks alone be trusted? This brings us neatly to the newly launched Infiniti Q60, the rival to German offerings such as the Mercedes-Benz C-Class Coupe, BMW 4 Series and the Audi A5 Coupe. The former meets up with the coupe's human eye influence LED headlights, with its signature DRLs, as well as a little raised bump that ends just before the bonnet. According to company officials, this is meant to represent the continuation of the Infiniti logo's never-ending road philosophy. Progressing towards the rear, the Q60's subtly flared wheel arches are contained by a crease line that runs through the door handles. Other highlights include the crescent-shaped design on the C-pillar, which is even more pronounced than what you'd find on the Q50, and 19-inch dual-toned alloy wheels shod with sizable 255/40 Dunlop SP Sport Max 050 run flat tires. Tilt your vision lower, and you'll notice a line that flows from the front fenders, through the non-functional air breather vents, down the sides before meeting up with the rear fog lamp enclosure. Due to the ducktail desk spoiler integrated to the cargo space cover, the entire boot lid is a hybrid combination of a resin skin on a steel frame. Why? This allowed Infiniti designers more freedom to create this desired shape. All this effort to get the look just right is certainly something worth admiring, at least for this rider. It is a very pretty car, this, and when parked next to its German rivals at any swanky part of the city, it'll blend in just fine. The more organic-looking design and courtier approach is a welcome breath of fresh air from what is presented by its rivals. This includes a different design for the steering wheel and gear selector knob, as well as a leather-covered dash with visible stitching. No fancy wood, like in most other Infiniti models. You get a choice of two leather upholstery packages, graphite in this case, paired with brushed aluminum trim. In the equipment package, a 13-speaker Bose Performance Series sound system is standard, as well as Infiniti's spinal support powered seats, which offer 14-way adjustability with memory function for the driver. Everything else, however, is almost exactly the same as what you would find on a base Q50 2.0T, including dual-zone climate control, Intuition dual touchscreen displays, 8-inch upper and 7-inch lower, and in-touch infotainment system. Look closely and you'll also notice other items taken from the Nissan parts bin, like the start button and even the key fob. The engine note isn't very encouraging either, lacking the vocals you would hear in V6-powered Infiniti models like the QX70S for instance. This can be remedied by fiddling with the DMS and putting the car in sport mode, whereby the active sound enhancement system comes into play. However, the effect isn't very dramatic, to say the least. Nonetheless, the powertrain gets through the miles quickly enough, but this isn't a barnstorming race car for the road you might expect it to be. The Q60 is more like a GT cruiser, which means it needs to be comfortable and pleasant to take on long journeys. Thankfully, the Q60 excels here because it comes with active noise cancellation system and acoustic windshield, which keeps engine and wind noise at bay. complementing the impressive NVH is a ride that is firm but not uncompromising and would certainly be a step above what the C-Class Coupe can offer, though that has an AMG-tuned suspension. The car's comfort suspension without variable dampers copes well with the delightful potholes around KL, and while smaller imperfections can be felt, it isn't a jolting experience each time. The 14-way adjustable driver's seat also ensures you're kept in place, with the ability to adjust how much the side bolsters hug you. There are rear seats here as well, although legroom can be pretty limited, more so if you have a tall driver seated in front of you. Those who are vertically gifted will also need to slouch to prevent their heads from contacting the car's ceiling. In other areas, the Q60 is a pretty easy car to see out off, with blind spots not being obscured despite the sleek 0.29 city shape. A sunroof would have been nice to allow more natural light into the cabin, so things would feel more airy. Going back to an earlier statement that the Q60 is more a GT car to this rider than a time attack machine, the inclusion of DOS would certainly be more welcomed. The system, which is unaffected by the kickback and forced movement of conventional steering, would certainly make the car even more comfortable to drive than it already is. The Q60, at least in this guise, is for a different sort of individual, one that isn't focused purely on just raw performance and instead just wants to trot along at a leisurely pace in comfort, relishing the fact that the car has the visual presence to track eyeballs to it. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.